Hello everyone, Ragewood here, back with another Godforge video, and it's Friday Leaks. But not Friday Leaks as you know it, no, because this week us as content creators have been given the opportunity to leak this to our various communities ourselves. Now, if you might know from the thumbnail, if you've seen that picture before or recognise that god, who this is. But for those of you that don't, let's take a quick dive in and find out what's new. So, to the big reveal, this is the Persephone concept art. Persephone is coming to the game. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Who is Persephone? Now, if you're a bit of a Greek myth history buff like myself, or have played Smite, or anything like that, you will have an idea who this person is. But for those of you that don't, I'll give some background on her now. So Persephone is the daughter of Zeus and Demeter. Zeus, we all know who Zeus is, we've seen him. Demeter is the god of sort of harvest and fertility. Now, unfortunately for Demeter, while she is out, frolicking in the fields one day, she's this young, sort of beautiful woman, and Hades decides that he would like her as his wife, so he steals her down to the underworld. As a result of this, Demeter's obviously really upset. His daughter's gone missing, and sort of asks Zeus and Helios where she is, and it is revealed that she has gone down to the underworld, Queen of the Dead. Long story short, Zeus says, Hades, you've been a bit of a dick. Bring Persephone back up, please. But what Hades does is he gives Persephone pomegranate, which is the fruit of the underworld, fruit of the dead, something like that. And anyone who eats that sort of longs to be down there, if you will. So when she's eventually brought up, she decides that actually she wants to go back down into the underworld and live with Hades. Demeter isn't happy with that, and then Zeus decides that actually for 6 months of the year, Persephone will live with Hades down in the underworld, and then for the other 6 months she will live on the overworld. And that is how they sort of explain the seasons. All the time that Persephone is with her mother, Demeter is really happy, so she keeps the harvest going and things like that, which is spring and summer. When Persephone goes down into the underworld, she's really sad, so all the crops dry and all of that, and that is autumn and winter. And so that is a short little background to Persephone's sort of Greek story, if you will. So, now we've got a small little background on Persephone. Let's look at the art itself then. So, something that I sort of stuck out to me, firstly, was sort of the little red dots. Now, I perceive these to be sort of the pomegranate seeds, the things that sort of sealed her to be in the underworld with Hades. We got a few of them sort of on the braces. We've also got these cool sort of skulls up here with the red dots, red eyes, and in her necklace. Now, it could be coincidence, but I imagine these are all sort of your pomegranates, as it were, which is really cool. A general sort of get-up, we've got this sort of, a sort of Greek-style sort of toga dress, if you will, with the open back. Very sort of, it's an elegant sexy, I suppose it is a nice way to put it. So I really like that. We've also got sort of the thorns and the vines sort of all around her as well. I think these are really cool. If you've watched 300 or any kind, you'll know that they have sort of sandals at the wrist wraps, so I think this is a very nice way of doing it. What I also like is you've got sort of like the wheat or the flowers or the skirt embroidery here, and I like how the Fateless team took that from my curtains that I have right here. There we are, clear inspiration for them. But yeah, super sick. You know, we say the headdress, wicked, and I think it's all sort of very cool. We then move over to her weapon, or a sickle, as it's known, sort of a common sort of harvesting sort of tool, and the skull pouch to harvest the souls. Maybe some souls could take some form of wheat she used to collect. I'd like that kind of sort of feel, sort of that sort of throwback to Demeter in her past. And also where she is now as the Queen of the Underworld, helping Hades look after the souls that have moved on. Again, we've still got sort of the sort of flowering, sort of the roses, and it's going to have those sort of, again, pomegranate seeds, or gems, rubies. I think this is obviously, just from a concept art, I think this is going to look really cool once it gets to 3D. And I like this sort of little gathering pouch as well. Sort of normally be sort of like a wicker basket, something like that. And then we got the wheat sort of undead souls there, really cool. And then, as you can see, the headband is placed in here that separates the main hair piece from the ponytail, just up on top of the crown, if you will. And yeah, an exciting character that's going to come to the game. So what do I think her abilities are going to be? Well, let's sort of take a moment to look at that. So if we think to what Persephone is, where she lives, that kind of thing. She lives in the underworld. She's going to be looking after the dead. Now, I think potentially we're going to have some sort of support, or someone with a revive, if you will. I think that sort of ties in quite nicely with Persephone's background. So, you know, your allies die, she's looking after them, she's going to perhaps resurrect them. Now, I don't think that was her thing in Greek myth, but I like it potentially being an option here. Or perhaps she's going to have something like in some games when you deal damage. It's actually in Raid, actually, I think. When you deal damage to a character, you take a percentage of their health that can't be healed back, if that makes sense. You sort of destroy part of their max HP. I like that idea as well. Sort of she's harvesting the soul, the essence of whatever hero or creature she is. And we should make her quite a nice utility character with the resurrection and sort of that destroy max HP, if you will. Debuff wise, could she place some sort of debuff? You know, we've now discovered, I say we've discovered, it's not been confirmed by anyone, but I think I know what Corrupt does now. So, you know, I like that, sort of that silence effect, because no one sort of heard her get dragged down to the underworld by Hades. It was all sort of, you know, very quick, very kind of hush-hush. So potentially that's an avenue. And it's interesting to see where they go with it. I know that if anyone's played a game called Smite, she's a very powerful mage in that game, where, you know, part of her passive is she drops flowers all around, which she can then pick up. She also gains pomegranate seeds, which you can sell for extra gold. Now, that's not something you can perhaps do in here, but I like the idea perhaps the pomegranate gets involved somewhere. You know, she's going to feed her allies. Hey, there you go. Here's something I just thought of. Maybe she heals her allies by giving them pomegranates. but as a result of that healing, she destroys your allies' max HP. That's a cool little thing. Yeah, she's going to help you out, but she's going to tie you to that sort of undead underworld. So, you know, that'll be a cool sort of, because then you're constantly on edge in battle and in PvE scenarios as to when you're going to heal, because you're going to sacrifice what you've got. So there we are. This is the concept. Very short and sweet video, and my initial thoughts. So to recap, love the artwork. I love sort of the flavour that they've sort of thrown in there. And I also like how from the back we've got this kind of nice sort of, you know, summery sort of happy vibe, if you will. But then on the front side, underneath the cape, you've got sort of the black throwback to the underworld there. That I really like, that sort of subtle sort of darkness being added into it. And I'm just another character that I really look forward to seeing. Will she top Anubis for me? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Look after yourselves. Work hard, but as always, play harder. And I'll see you in another one soon. Cheers.